Hi, it's Jennifer with Jennifer at Home, and I'm super happy and super grateful you're here because today I am going to be making a wonderful, delicious, low-carb peppermint cheesecake. I have been challenged to make a special Christmas dessert, and this is what I'm going to make today and share it with all of you. I'll put this together and show you just how easy it is to make this wonderful, low-carb peppermint cheesecake. To make this fabulous low-carb peppermint cheesecake, we're going to need eggs, butter, food coloring, peppermint, almond flour, chocolate protein powder, cream cheese, and a sweetener of your choice. I'll have the full recipe listed below so you could easily make this wonderful cheesecake. The first thing we need to do before making this cheesecake is go ahead and make the crust. I have the butter here. I have 4 tablespoons of melted butter. And I have a 1.5 cups of almond flour. And I have 1/3 cup of the chocolate protein powder. I'm just going to mix these all together. And the butter is what's going to be the binding agent. The butter will get all of these things moistened and then they'll all stick together. The crust ingredients are all mixed up, and now I'm going to put it in my springform pan. I have my springform pan and it is buttered, and I put a circle of parchment paper inside, and then I just buttered that as well so nothing sticks. We'll just pour this right in, and then we'll just take our spatula and spread it into a nice even layer. I have my oven preheating to 350, so once we get the crust all together, we'll put the crust in the oven and bake it just for a short time while we're making the rest of our cheesecake filling. Just press it down the best you can. You could even use a glass or just use your clean hands and press it into a nice thin layer. Get it as nice and even as possible. I have my 3 blocks of cream cheese in my mixer. I'm going to start mixing these on low. So these blocks are 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. Let's get these started. We don't want to whip a bunch of air into this, so we'll just turn it on low until they're all creamed together. I mixed my cream cheese just enough to fluff it up, and now I'm going to add my sweetener. I have a cup of Stevia Sweetener, and I'm going to turn my mixer on and mix it on low just until this is incorporated. Be sure to stop at least once and scrape down your bowl and your paddle to make sure you have everything mixed well. Now that the sweetener is mixed in, let's go ahead and add in our peppermint extract. You could also use a mint extract, which would be wonderful for Christmas as well. The next thing we're going to do is start adding our room temperature eggs one at a time. They were room temperature just as the cream cheese was. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and scrape the bowl once again just to make sure we don't have any buildup of the cream cheese inside the mixing bowl. We want to make sure it's all loosened and can easily be mixed together with all of the other ingredients. I usually do this at least twice while I'm making a cheesecake. Right at the very end, I'm going to put my mixer up just a little bit faster for just a minute or so to make sure everything's really well mixed. And there we have it. Now it's time to put our cheesecake in the pan. My cheesecake crust has been baking in the oven at 350 for 10 to 12 minutes. Now I've taken it out, and it's time to go ahead and pour in the cheesecake batter. The cheesecake filling smells amazing with that wonderful peppermint smell. You can make this in the summer and use a lemon extract. Of course, you could make a plain cheesecake with vanilla extract. You could use any type. You could make a chocolate cheesecake with some cocoa powder, and you could even add a chocolate extract. There are so many different versions you could do. I'm going to put the batter right in on top of the crust, and I've lowered my oven temperature to 325. I'm going to spread this around just a little bit because we're going to add a little bit of coloring. If you wanted to, you could have added any type of food coloring to your cheesecake when it was in the mixer, and you could have just mixed it right in and made a pink cheesecake or a reddish colored cheesecake. But I chose to put my food coloring, this is a gel food coloring, and I put this in a bowl. I'm just going to scrape this into the cheesecake because this is the least messy way. Put as much or little as you'd like, or you don't have to add any at all, of course. But I'm going to add this red because I have the peppermint flavoring. It is Christmas time after all, and we want to make this look very festive and Christmassy. And now I have a big skewer, a wooden skewer, and I'm just going to drag this peppermint food coloring around in the top of my cake. I definitely want to make this look like a candy cane. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just put a nice design, anything you'd like, just draw it around so that it looks like candy cane right in the top of your cheesecake. Now that we have a peppermint looking design in our cheesecake, we're going to put this back in the oven and bake it for 55 minutes at 325. The peppermint cheesecake has just come out of the oven after 55 minutes. Now I'm just going to take an offset spatula and I'm just going to carefully run it around, just bouncing it up and down around the edge of the cheesecake pan, right on the inside of the springform pan. You don't want to scratch your pan, but just take it around. You could also use a dull knife. Just run it around and make sure that cheesecake is loosened from the edge, but it's too soon to open the springform pan. We want to make sure we let the cheesecake cool before we start to remove the pan. And here's how the wonderful low-carb peppermint cheesecake turned out. I am so happy you were here today for this wonderful low-carb peppermint cheesecake recipe. I had so much fun putting this together, and I hope you enjoyed the video as well. I would love for you to subscribe and click the notification bell. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you next time.